are. Social activism is important. Mobilizing people is important. But without practical solutions, what does it bring us? So these are what we're here today to discuss. And again, I want to thank you, and I look forward to the discussions this afternoon and the presentations by the distinguished guests this morning as well. Thank you very much.
First, Sri M. Sunil Kumar, State Director RDI, to give his address.
Honorable Pinaki Chandra Ghosh, Chief Justice of AP High Court, my Lord Justice Ishwaraya Garu, Sri Mohan Rao Garu, Secretary Legal Service Authority, Mr. Ravi Kumar Garu, my Vice Chancellor Faizan Mustafa, Country Director Gregory Rake, my Registrar K.V. Sharma Garu, Dr. Haq, Director Council for Social Development, Honorable Justice Prakash Rao Garu, my teachers, students here, all distinguished secretaries of Legal Service Authority, and everyone present here. Very good morning to all of you. Very good morning to all of you. I just take few minutes to say only few things. Most of the things our Vice Chancellor has mentioned why we are gathered here, but it's always a privilege to stand here and speak to the audience. I was there other side for 5 years as a student of this university, listening to a lot of eminent speakers, drawing inspiration from them and taking that inspiration to the field. As Vice Chancellor mentioned, that as a group of students, we tried something our best to help the poor and provide some kind of legal aid. And we learned that the poor really need our support as lawyers, support as judges, that they're really suffering, we have to do something. And we carried that inspiration. I'm now this side of the dais, and speaking to paralegals, speaking to various other dignitaries here, and last 4 or 5 years I'm doing that job, and I'm really honored to have the support of Nalsar University of Law. I'm honored to have the support of the judiciary in doing all that activity. I'm honored to have support of government and also my own institution, Rural Development Institute. As we all know, land is very important. It can make or unmake people's life. If you possess a piece of land, your respect in the village is completely different if you don't have any land at all. Such important piece, a land which people's life can be made or unmade. But unfortunately, as Vice Chancellor rightly mentioned, that half of this rural population doesn't have a piece of land. And another saddening fact is that other half, which has some piece of land, 1 acre, 2 acres, or 10 acres, they do not have secured right. Their name is there in the record. They don't have patta, they have patta, but there's no possession. So there is some problem with the piece of land. In fact, very recent survey done by Indira Krantipadam Project, Ministry of Rural Development, revealed that only for SC/ST population, they've done a survey of SC/ST population having land problems. They've identified 24 lakh land issues only pertaining to scheduled caste and scheduled tribes in this state. If you look at the tribal areas in Andhra Pradesh, out of total 9 scheduled area districts in Andhra Pradesh, more than 50% of land in scheduled areas is held by non-tribals in spite of land transfer regulation. Another interesting fact, out of 75,000 cases filed for violating LTR, more than 50% cases were decided against non-tribals. Only reason is that they lack minimum awareness. They lack knowledge on the rights. They lack minimum support on their behalf to fight. If that is the situation, if you can provide them little information on land laws and provide them some help, definitely miracles can happen. I only quote 2 examples and conclude. One example, I was talking to a villager in Medak district, and he came to me saying that, sir, I have only 1 book and doesn't have other. He's talking about title deed and passbook. He got a title deed, but he doesn't have passbook. And I asked why you have not got it, because VRO didn't give it to me. Rather answering him directly, I started explaining what is passbook, what is title deed, what is the process to get it. And before I end my talk, he's suddenly kind of walking out of my place and saying that, sir, now I know how to get the title deed, I'll go get it. And he was not expecting any other support. So what I'm trying to say is that if you at least provide some legal information, miracles can happen. Number 2, with kind of minimum legal support, a lot of cases can be resolved. My first case as a legal coordinator working in government of AP, a tribal woman from Adilabad district. Their family lost the land about 30-40 years back, and they're fighting for that piece of land for 40 years. And they could not win. And as a young student and young lawyer, and I spent around 5 days, 10 days and trying to resolve that case. Finally, we could get the case won in a Tahsildar court, and she got back the land, which became very popular. So in that sense, if all of us as a legal experts, lawyers and judges, if we make little effort, there are thousands and millions of families who can get their land back and live a peaceful and happy life. Otherwise, as Vice Chancellor sir rightly mentioned, extremist problems will increase, law and order issues will increase, criminal cases will increase, then society will be not at peace. So this workshop is aimed at how we can learn lessons from various initiatives of government, of Legal Service Authority, and various other models, and try to find some solution to address this need and provide some kind of support to the poor. Thank you very much for coming here, and I hope in next 2-3 technical session to come, and we find some answer, and the poor will definitely going to get benefit by these deliberations. Thank you very much, sir.
Now I request Honorable Sri Justice V. Ishwaraya, Judge High Court of AP and Executive Chairman AP States Legal Service Authority to give his address.
A very good morning. Today's Chief Guest, the Honorable Chief Justice Pinaki Chandra Ghosh, the Patron in Chief of the AP Legal Service Authority, Chancellor of Nalsara University, the Vice Chancellor of this University, Fayaz Mustafa, my dear brother, Honorable Justice Prakash Rao Garu, all other dignitaries on the dais, the 24, the legal services, the secretaries of the District Legal Services Authorities, NALSAR students. It's a very happy occasion to be associated with this important function dealing with the land problems in the villages. You know, when the Record of Rights Act, this Patadar Passbook, this act was not formulated. Only the regulations were there in Telangana area. In Andhra area even that was not there. Only board standing orders were there. But problems were less. Though law was not codified, the problems was not that much, because the people were honest, people were sincere, exploitation was not there by the officials, revenue as well as the village, these patwaris. Now as the people became corrupt, unrighteous, and under the guise of the awakening, then they have started doing injustice to the co-farmer and the fellow neighbor. Therefore, problems have arisen. We have codified the act. Even after codifying the act with regard to the record of rights, and we have been given the Patadar Passbook, record of title deeds also. But in spite of it, problem. The people, you know, they are very meager amount. Unless they work, it's not possible for them to feed by themselves. Suppose if they also then some problem, if they land with the problem, then you can imagine in the courts or our regular courts, this whole family will be ruined, and thereby they will lose their peace and their life will be ruined. So therefore, it is very important to see that these land problems are settled, and they should all. So yesterday I got the material from the Nalsara University students. Really, they should be congratulated. They should be encouraged for this for every problem. So the problem relating to the Patadar, the assignment outside with regard to the assignment, then Patadar Passbook, then the tribal rights with regard to the assignment of the lands or agricultural lands are concerned. You know, the assignment of the land, why many of the lands are being are not in possession of the assignee, but they are in possession of some other person. As Mr. Sunil Kumar rightly said, we are in the hands of the non-tribals only. So what is it? What the regulations we have made, but those regulations are reached in practical. So similarly, insofar as the land in the rural areas are concerned, many of the tribal areas, the tribal land can never be transferred. In between the tribal and no non-tribal can be prohibited. Similarly, once whether the outside is assigned, I have had occasion to deal with a case that a assigned land was mortgaged to the primary agricultural cooperative society. So that is an annuity. It can't be only there is a provision to mitigate. So that was the judgment I have delivered in one case. Insofar as the tribal areas are concerned, these tribal areas all the place. They are not able to settle the problems of the tribal areas. That is the reason why Civil Court Act has not been extended to the tribal areas. Civil courts have no jurisdiction. So that, though there was one division bench judgment, without noticing the Civil Court Act and the relevant rules, they have set that judgment. So but that case has been carried to the Supreme Court. At 2000 they have delivered the judgment, but still that case is in the Supreme Court, that case is pending in the Supreme Court. It's not yet decided. So there are several problems in the villages concerned. In olden days, only all the problems used to settle by one's patwari itself. Now you see how many legal, now therefore as rightly impressed upon, they require the legal assistance.
Chief Justice High Court of Andhra Pradesh, Patron-in-Chief, AP State Legal Service Authority and Chancellor Nalsar University of Law to give his keynote address.
And to share your experiences you may gather in this occasion, in this seminar. My learned brother, Justice Saraya, Vice Chancellor, Professor Faizan Mustafa, KVS Sarma, Registrar, Mr. Rovi Kumar, Member Secretary, Mr. Rake, Indian Country Director, Rural Development Institute, Mr. Sunil Kumar, Secretaries, District Legal Services Authorities, Mr. Justice Prakash Rao, and my dear students, friends of this university. It's true that a cemetery in the matter in question, steps have been taken by the government by abolition of the Jamindari system. Therefore, in a country like India, where the majority population in rural areas depend on agriculture and allied activities, land is not a mere fundamental asset or a source of living, but it is something more. Now we have to judge what is it more. It's more, according to me, is the respect. The respect meaning thereby, if you have land in the village, you have respect from the villagers who are there. So that's the reason we want to keep the land intact, whatever we have. The dignity, self-respect, power, everything denotes land. In our country more particularly, as we have seen, that a man holds worth if he possesses earth. Social relations revolve around the land, and it is the possession of land that controls the socio-economic privileges. It is the interplay of relationship between different stakeholders of land, namely the state, landlords, tenants, and agricultural laborers. Out of all these groups, the poor agricultural laborers are the most vulnerable, whether he is a tenant or a tiller of a smaller extent or wage earner on the land. Broadly speaking, the land related to these legal needs of the poor in rural areas mostly relate to the temporary rights to control the land and the land revenue by the absentee landlords, and such control creating pressure on the poor who are the actual tillers of the land. Secondly, the nature of tenancies, in as much as most of the tenancies in rural areas are oral and could be terminated at will by the landlord, thereby creating a sense of insecurity in the tenancy relationships. Thirdly, generating work and ensuring minimum wages for the agricultural laborers to support their lives. And fourthly, proper maintenance of record of rights transparently and accountably by the state and the bad effects of want of transparency. Since independence, there have been attempts to solve these problems, because it is only through bringing more equitable relationships in respect of land alone. The economic disparities in the rural community can be eliminated, and the mandate of the Constitution through directive principles could be complied with. That's the reason we have seen to give more effectively to the downtrodden people, this legal aid, the Legal Services Authorities Act in 1987 has been enacted. It's true that injustice was done earlier also without having that Legal Services Authorities Act. After the independence, we have come across many years, and thereafter we have realized that who has money power, who has muscle power, who have other powers, they can win everything. They can win also the rights of the downtrodden people by not giving them rights, which rights they have, in fact, with them. That's the reason the Constitution, the parliamentarians, they have thought that it is necessary for them to bring that these Legal Services Authorities Act. But after this amendment of the Constitution of India also, you have seen that 39 capital A article has given the right to the people to have
go on. Yeah, please. It is also, you'll be able to find out that when there was no, in fact, this Legal Services Authorities Act came into operation, the main objects to bring this Legal Services Authorities Act by the parliamentarians to first to remove and to settle the disputes which are really pending before the court, and court are burdened with the works so that has been given to them. And you know that the judges' ratio with regard to the population of this country is such a less proportionate. That's the reason it was not possible for at least to overcome all this pendency of the matters in courts. That's the reason the parliamentarians thought by enactment of that act it can be a measure to take steps in the matter in question and to really cater the needs of the people of the country.
In doing so, they have also thought it is also necessary for us to give legal aid to the poor people who are really do not get any chance even to have their advocates, etc., before the court to represent their case properly. This is Authority Act. But it is true that even after 1987, the Act has came into operation. That 1995, it has taken time to implement the same in this state. Maybe in some other states, it has taken more time to operate. But in my opinion, that even after this Act has came into operation, there are certain flaws and loopholes which still now awaiting for the help from the lawyers, from the all people, so that that can be wiped out by us by taking steps in the matter in question. It is true that there are many amendments have came into operations, laws have been framed to help the downtrodden people. But as we know that without awareness of those things, it's not possible for anyone to know in fact what is law is or what rights they have under the said law. That's the reason it is necessary for us to come to them or to go to nearer to them. That's the reason this access to justice has the symbol of the legal aid services authorities. So therefore, in my opinion, it is true that law was there, law will be there, but it is only necessary to reach to them. And that's the reason all these type of seminars are being conducted, and through this seminars, we only want to bring it to your notice that you owe a duty towards society, to your country, and that's the reason all these seminars are being conducted with the help of the universities and legal services authorities in every state. As I have performed as the chairman of the State Legal Services Authorities in Calcutta, West Bengal, for a long time, for at least 5-6 years, I have went to various villages, etc. I have found that people first, they're really afraid to come forward with their difficulties, with their what they want really in fact. That's the reason it is necessary for us to go and to meet them. And we have to live with them If we don't live with them, we don't know what really they want, and that's the reason it's necessary for us also to go to nearer to them and to have their difficulties. And I'm sure the district legal services authorities, the chairman who are here, or the secretaries, it is also their duty, bounden duty to them, because it is sure that we love ourselves, not anybody else. If any person, if you ask that whom you love more, he will say that myself. If he says in some other ways, I'm sure that he is lying. So therefore, it is you. There's no reason that you will not love you or your families. That must be there. But at the same time, because if you don't look after your family, it will be only you will be treated as an escapist. So that also should not be done. But at the same time, it should not be also your duty to look after your neighbors, look after your friends, and whoever is there to help them. And that is the reason this Legal Services Authorities Act has came into operation. And I must tell you one thing, that every dispute can be overcome if you expand your heart and can love everybody. Thank you all.
Now I request Honorable Sri Justice Pinaki Chandra Ghosh to launch the website relating to land rights, and also to release DVD containing short films on land rights. Now I request Honorable Vice Chancellor to present a memento to our Honorable Chancellor. Now I request our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Dr. Faizan Mustafa, to present a memento to our Honorable Chancellor. Now I request Professor Vijendra Kumar to present a memento to Honorable Sri Justice V. Ishwaraya. Now, vote of thanks. It is my privilege to thank the distinguished guests and participants of this workshop. On behalf of Nalsar University of Law and RDI, I thank Honorable Sri Justice Pinaki Chandra Ghosh, Chief Justice High Court of AP, Pattern in Chief, Andhra Pradesh State Legal Service Authority, and Chancellor Nalsar University of Law for his valuable